Hey, Thabreakmasta here, and this is going to be my Hyouka episode 10 review. I really enjoyed this episode here today. It was just magnificent. That's all I can really say. And just, Oreki messed up, or he may have messed up on his analysis of that movie and getting that ending. So it's just really interesting. So basically, this episode, from before, we end up seeing Iritsu invite Oreki to have some tea with her. And basically, they end up having that tea, and she wanted to discuss the movie with Oreki and get Oreki on her side to do this, ending for her. Because apparently, Oreki ended up denying all three of those people's suggestions for how the movie should end. And so they're left with nothing. So she comes in and she's like, you have to give us an ending then. And you have this kind of talent for finding doing this mystery and solving things and figuring things out. So you need to find out what we need for this movie and how we should end it. And then she just starts praising him, saying, you have amazing this amazing capabilities of mystery, and you're like a genius at this, And she ends up making a whole story basically based off of a person working really hard to trying to succeed in their goals, and yet they don't get their goals, as opposed to the person not working hard at all, and it comes easy to them, and they get the glory. And then when someone asks them, how you do this, how you did this, what was your motivation, how you were able to figure this out, how you did all this, and the person usually just says it's all just luck, I was just lucky. And if that's the case, it makes a person that was working so hard jealous or mad for the fact that I work this hard, yet this person doesn't really do anything, and he gets all the glory, and he just has luck. Like, that makes the person feel mad, or feel, what I'm saying, the feelings. So basically, she's made that whole story up, and it kind of made Oreki like he's just kind of surprised by it. It's like, it seems like this girl is able to actually motivate or kind of control Oreki in a way. So Oreki actually agrees to actually work on this movie, actually put some energy into doing this. So this is the first time ever he's ever put actual energy of his own being, or his own will, going to do something. So that was really odd. And so he ends up going to go do that. He's actually going to school, and I think it was a break or something like that. And so Satoshi is going with him because they need to go and everything like that. And yeah, so they end up going into the classroom. Mayaka comes, and she's like, "What the heck is going on here? This is I think it was a weekend or something, but it's like, you're here, and you don't normally come these times. Like, something's wrong. The Earth must about to be explode or something, because it's just so odd." And so they ended up bouncing off ideas from each other and everything like that, re-watching the movie and trying to figure out what is the mystery. And so Mayaka was basically going over the technical issues with the movie, and basically they didn't really care too much about it, but they want to note that, this whole thing. So she just wanted to note that it's not a bad thing to be talking about that, but it's just nitpicking at the movie like this isn't necessarily going to find us the actual theory of what's going to happen in this movie. And Oreki didn't really have much to say while watching the movie, because he wasn't really sure everything either, but he's been paying attention to it. And so Miyaka had to leave because she had libraries duties to do, because they've been at it for a very long time. Satoshi got dragged because he had to go do some other activity with a different club, and so he ends up getting dragged off. And so that leaves Oreki to think what's going to happen in this movie. And so he ends up thinking about it, and he found an answer. And so he ends up contacting Iritsu, and Iritsu ends up coming, and he's showing his theory on how the movie should end. And basically his theory, which is really good, it kind of goes off on one of the guy's theories. I think it was no, not him. It was Tomohiro, the prop manager, the prop guy with the glasses. He kind of got off his theory in a sense, but basically what his theory is that there was a seventh person. That's what the theory, Tomohiro said. There's a seventh person. No, not Tomohiro, but it was Masaki that said there was a seventh person in this. And so he was thinking, well, there is actually a seventh person. So how this all went down in the end was basically, which is kind of cool, is that, and it's interesting to see, is that basically the cameraman is the seventh person, and the person that killed that dude. And if you notice in the movie, you look back at the movie, the characters were looking back at the camera from time to time, where like they noted him there, but they never said anything to him. He was like an invisible cast member that wasn't really saying anything. He didn't say nothing, so they didn't say nothing to him, which is why there was no contact and no conversation going on between the two. And so that was basically his theory. So he just basically got the keys, master key, came in there, killed him, locked the door afterwards, and then because there was a cut in between the movie too, is when everyone was there bunched up together and say, I want to go this way, you go this way, like Scooby-Doo. And so they all end up going to their whole places, and then and no one's there anymore besides the cameraman. And so the cameraman's just there by himself, and so that's when he did a crime. And then when everyone came back afterwards and he was back at the camera, it was a cut at that point, which is very very interesting to see. And that's how he figured out how that all worked out. And that was his theory, and she actually liked it. At first, she was just, like I said, she was asking certain questions about it, but he debunked those questions, with facts. And so she's like, I like this. I knew I could trust you. You did really well. I like this theory right here. And so, Oreki thought he was done. It had a presentation of the movie at the end. He got caught, cameraman, and everything like that. And so, everyone watched the movie. People were really surprised by it. They liked it a lot and everything. The prop manager didn't like it. Told me he was like, I don't like that movie. And Satoshi ends up getting his opinion. He's like, it was okay. It was not that bad. And she kind of seemed a little off. She's like, I need to, I'm gonna tell you later. And she just goes. She leaves. And so then Mayaka ends up dragging Oreki to the side for a second. She's like, you made that theory, right? Are you like 100%? No one else's help. You made that theory all by yourself. And Oreki's like, yeah, I made that theory by myself, all by myself. And so she was like, and she noticed this and noted, the prop manager, out of all this stuff that in this movie and this is how the theory went, why wasn't the rope used through this movie? And that's how the episode ends. And the thing is, why didn't the rope get used? It's a prop. It has to be within the movie. And then Oreki's like, oh crap, he just messed up. So I'm like, okay. So what is this movie exactly? What does the rope got to do with this part then? Like what is this prop gonna do to change this movie up? And is it too late? Because at this point there was a presentation and it got acted out. Can they necessarily just go back and edit some of the parts and use the rope within that scene? Because then if you think about it, his theory may be wrong because the rope, that prop was supposed to be used in this movie. And if it's not getting used, then what the heck? So this is very interesting, and I'm curious what the next episode is. I really like this mystery here, and it's really smart. And I'm surprised though, Oreki messed up and missed that one detail. He was noting and thinking and memorizing everything, but he forgot that one little detail, and that's really odd for Oreki actually. So this is very interesting that he actually messed up, and I think Chitanda didn't like the ending. Chitanda was probably like, she was gonna say, it's not the right ending. It still don't feel right. It don't feel right. It's weird. And usually she'd be like, you did a good job, Oreki. Yeah, give me a hug. Yeah. But she's like, I don't know. So I'm just like, this is gonna be very interesting. I'm looking for the next episode. Looking forward to the next episode. So what are you guys' thoughts on this episode of Hyouka this week? Leave your comments below and tell me what you think. Like if you like this review, and subscribe to my channel for some more Hyouka reviews. So yeah, it's been the Thabreakmasta, and until then, break out.